Now we need to clap in.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
It was really on it.
Did you really clap with us, or did you clap late?
I clapped.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're super late.
Oh, let's try it again.
Okay.
All right, ready?
You count us off, Terry.
All right. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
Y'all started count us in, Terry. Then we're all going to start counting over you.
No, we followed you.
Oh.
You're like,
That not seem like we were in sync. I don't know.
You and I are, but Terry's like somewhere else. He's like in a different dimension right now.
I'm in Narnia, dude.
Hey everyone, this is Travis with. God, I'm an idiot. How's this? How do podcasts work? I don't.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Terry.
And we're just rolling with it.
And this is
Yeah, we are.
episode 102.
Yep.
If you can tell we're out of practice, then you're right on the money. Are we doing a video
Good one.
version of this?
Yeah, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Where are you at, Justin? It looks like you're at the office.
That's where I am. It's under Mifflin. This is my. I've been working from home.
I see Stanley behind you, man.
Yeah, Stanley.
Yeah. Good old Stanley.
My finger is. There we go. There's Stanley.
I'm in old Firewatch.
Nice.
That's a great game.
I had to go back.
I'm
and
at
do that.
Disney, bro.
Yeah.
No, you're not, Terry.
Enjoy that.
Oh, you're right.
COVID-19.
Nah, they're
You're going
closed.
in September, right?
Gonna try to.
Yeah. Yeah, well, fingers crossed. All will go well. You're going to go. Don't worry about it. It's going to be great.
I think so.
Well, welcome to this this marvelous, marvelous episode. It's been a couple weeks since we've recorded, I think.
At least 2.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This is I've already lost count of what it is of COVID. Everybody's still, doing the whole quarantine. But how are you guys doing? What have y'all been up to? Either one of you can start us off.
Terry, you go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I every day we can, we've been going on motorcycle rides. You know, the weather's been, when it's not raining, it's been pretty nice. Been doing a lot of gaming. Been playing some games I never thought I would play in a million years, but I've been playing them. I finished Clone Wars. I believe that happened in the time that last time we recorded. Really sad. And now I've been watching Rebels. I wanted to wait until Clone Wars is over before I started Rebels. Finish Rebels. So that's pretty much it. And working. What about you, Justin?
I also have been working. Been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 and Warzone with you, Terry. Playing a lot of that with
That's
you.
right.
Played some Fortnite with Travis and you. That was fun. And then I've been getting caught up on Better Call Saul, which I think Maxwell watches that show. Is that right?
Yeah, that was always the running joke. You'd always ask him, and he'd be like, "No, I still don't watch that."
I
show.
think he watches it. We need to play
secretly.
Fortnite with Maxwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Travis was telling me. I didn't know he played.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
I didn't know he played Fortnite.
Oh, yeah, he loves it.
Yeah.
We've been rewatching Scrubs. Looking over my notes here, and I think that's it.
Oh, well, it seems like you've had quite the productive couple weeks.
Well,
That's right.
on a positive note, we really don't play that many games together, and we've been playing a
Oh.
little bit together.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah. Now if we could just get Maxwell involved.
that's right.
We probably
do
need to
that.
ask him to get him to be involved, though.
Yeah. I mean, Fortnite is cross-platform, so therefore there's no excuse there.
I think the other night we had Xbox, PC, and Switch, or
Yeah.
was it just 2?
Mhm.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we cross-platform love, if you
That's
will.
right.
I will say Fortnite is a really good example of how cross-platform can work. Well, that and also Warzone does it pretty well, I think. So me, I've been up to quite a bit, been working. I've also finished the first 2 seasons of Fargo. I wanted to take a little bit of a break before going to season 3.
Okay.
So now just today, before we finished or started recording, I finished my 4th or 5th rewatch of Chuck. But I've also started season 2 of Barry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. So
The king
so
of
far,
Suckballs Mountain.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. Terry kind of alluded to it earlier without necessarily stealing it from me. I have recently started within the past like week and a half, started playing Fortnite, which never would have thought I would have played Fortnite in a million years.
Right.
Just on the whim, just thought I'd try it out and actually give it a fair chance. And playing with friends is really what makes it. Like, I mean, it's still fun to play by yourself once you get the hang of it, but playing with people you know is really what makes it fun. And just having different strategies and just like, there you go, Justin. Nice. Yeah.
I couldn't see that where I'm using my phone. Until now.
I'm gonna leave him up. I'm gonna leave him up there for a little bit.
Dude, he's the best.
He is.
Yeah, he really is. But yeah, so I've been playing Fortnite like crazy. I think I'm level just hit 62, I think. So on my way. Thanks, Justin. That's not distracting at all. It's perfect as he's like right by the microphone too.
You have something to say, no, Hank? Oh, my mic disappears every time.
Yeah. But so I've been playing that. I did play a round of Warzone by myself, which was still fairly fun. I have found out that game is by far more stressful than Fortnite. You go from having 100 players to I think it's 150, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the map's bigger.
Yeah, it is. But no, it's been fun. I would have never thought in a million years, not only playing Fortnite, but also buying the Battle Pass. So yeah.
Yeah,
so
I bought the Battle Pass for both games.
Yeah. So that's been fun. But yeah, I want to get it more into Call of Duty and trying that out because I think they're just different enough to each have their own kind of appeal. But yeah, so it's been good. Justin, I can't tell if you're frozen or if you're just really concentrated.
I'm looking for another video to put on behind me.
But yeah, it's I didn't really realize like how well Fortnite is fleshed out and how much content is in Fortnite. It's crazy. I've been doing all the Deadpool content and it's been pretty fun. So yeah, so that's been fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Yeah, what other game will bring Deadpool and Kylo Ren to the same universe?
Yeah, exactly.
I know, right? Yeah, it's been great. And then I'm trying to think. Oh gosh, is this Call of Duty or is this Rainbow?
This is one of my clips from Call of Duty the other night. Now that I know, I didn't know you could add videos to your background, so that's pretty much all I'm doing for the next hour.
Oh, great! Is this? Were you playing with Terry?
I don't know if he's in this game or not. I can't. For some reason, the video is flipped too. I can't see the names of everybody. This podcast just got extremely graphic. I apologize. Oh, there they go.
There was a video last night. We were playing Fortnite, and I did the trick that you did where you land at the lighthouse and you destroy the bottom of it and just let it fall. And I had mentioned that flying down, but either A, Terry didn't hear it, or B, he completely ignored it. So I
just didn't know what you meant, I guess.
So he landed at the top as we knocked the tower down, and he fell to his death while he was in the tower.
Nice.
Did you save that clip, Terry?
I did, yeah.
Ooh, let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I've been up to. So yeah, so I think one of the big have you guys played any games that you told yourself you'd never play and you found yourself playing them? Terry, I know that your answer is Fortnite. Justin, your answer is Fortnite, but has there been anything else?
For me, Destiny 2. Oh, sorry, Terry.
Oh, my bad. I was just going to say, for me, it's Battle Royale games in general. Like, I've never liked them. Warzone really got me into it. So I played a lot of that, obviously, with you. And then I'm like, I'll give Fortnite a chance since, I actually like this game. And really like both. So, but yours is Destiny? Not my wife, right?
Well.
That was a battle royale in itself.
Destiny 2, yeah. I hated Destiny 1, bought Destiny 2 for some stupid reason. I hated that one too. And then I got back into it somehow. I don't remember how. It was after they left Activision, is that right?
Yeah. When Bungie actually they took back over.
Yeah, that's when I tried it again with some friends, which I'd mainly only ever played solo. And I got into it for a while, actually. I got that clip for you.
Is this Terry's clip?
Yeah. I got into it for a while, and I leveled up quite a bit and had a good time. But Yeah, I fell out of it again. It's not that I didn't like it. I just kind of did everything there was to do that I wanted to do, I guess. But
We're
that
just
and then
loving this
Fortnite
clip
also.
while
Yeah,
you're
we can watch
talking.
the clip. Sorry for those
Yeah,
of
we
you
gotta
at
watch the
home.
clip.
For those of you that don't
Watch. I'm like,
watch the show.
Travis said, "Oh, Terry." I'm like, "What?" I thought somebody's about to kill me here in a
Oh
second.
man. So Terry's just knocking the lighthouse down. Little does he know, Travis is doing the same at the bottom. Grab
Yeah,
that shield. You're not going to need it.
you may have heard of knocking the bottom out of it.
Oh! Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty great. But
Oh,
I picked him up and threw him down. I
You
don't know
should have
why.
thrown him off the mountain.
Damn.
Real
Yeah.
quick, since we're using Zoom to record this, I do think it's funny how in the Zoom options there's an uninstall Zoom button. Imagine doing that in the middle of a meeting or a podcast.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things that the Destiny did once they got back with Bungie was that made it huge, and a lot of people went back to it, was cross platform save.
Yeah.
I think that was a huge deal, just for the fact that like I had it on every console, but like most of my friends played on Xbox, but I wanted to play on PC some, but I didn't want to have to like restart.
Is it cross play or just cross platform save?
Just cross-platform save.
That's still not bad. That's
unless
still
they've updated it, but yeah, it's just cross-platform. I wish that Destiny could do what Fortnite has done.
Yeah.
And Call of Duty has done, you know. So maybe if they would have stayed with Activision, maybe they could have.
Just think like 2 years ago, this wasn't even. Everyone was like shutting it down. Like, we're not going to do crossplay. Deal with it. And then Rocket League does it. That's one where you can play with people on other platforms.
I'm just surprised by how well, like, at least I can't speak for Call of Duty because I'm not as familiar with it, but I can't believe how well they've implemented it though with Fortnite, because like how it works with balancing is like whoever the person is at the highest end of the hierarchy, like in your group, that's who you matchmake with. So if you're all console, then you'll stay matchmake with console. But like if one person is on PC, there's a chance you'll also get paired with PC players. So they do a really good job, I think, of balancing it out as well. My only complaint with the game, but it's not so much, it's more me than anything else, is getting used to the sniping, because it's surprisingly a lot like Battlefield because it has bullet drop, which Terry brought up the good point. That's probably a way to balance it out a little bit with PC players, because, you know, if it was like Call of Duty where you could literally just lock right onto them and shoot straight, you know, it probably would be.
Well, it's also like in Fortnite, you can build like a 300-foot tower in 2 seconds. So like you could literally build that and just snipe everybody if it's instant shot. Yeah. So I feel like it's balanced.
What's funny though is you can tell when you're paired with PC players just based off what people build and how fast they build.
There's mods you can get where you hit one key and it'll build an entire tower for you.
That's got to be banned, right?
That's just something somebody at work told me today.
Seriously,
don't share their gamer tag. They might get a ban hammer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like that would be a banned item.
Yeah, definitely sounds. Yeah.
Well, with
right.
Terry sent out the news in Instagram that they have said that Fortnite is going to be available on PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Yep.
Which is huge news and good news.
Well, they're also moving the graphics to the new engine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That'll be a great time to do that as well. So speaking of next gen, are you boys excited?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think not having the E3 presence this year is a real bummer.
Especially for a console launch year.
Yeah. So like we're kind of getting these little mini press conferences over the next several months. I am excited, but I would much rather, I don't know, I guess I would prefer the information overload in one day rather than one day a month, every month for 4 months.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk about how weird Sony's little press conference was.
They're always weird, man.
The one a few weeks ago or the one today?
The one a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that one was bad.
That guy I usually like listening to him talk because a lot of times I get into the tech jargon, but this time it was just real weird.
It had the animated crowd.
Yeah, it had that very science fiction. What's the
Mystery Science Theater?
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater feel to it.
And then his tone, I've never seen that guy before, but his entire tone was just like a buzzkill.
Yeah, he usually talks during the they do that conference in France That's usually when he talks, typically. But yeah, he also had that weird haircut too.
Yeah, I mean, I have a weird haircut right now. I'm sure Terry might. I'm not sure. What's underneath that hat, Terry?
You'll never know.
Let's see it. Oh, it's the same.
It's that quarantine cut, bro.
That's
Yeah, yeah, it is.
But so we got that weird tech presentation from Sony. We got a underwhelming Xbox presentation. What was it, last week?
Mm-hmm.
For some, so like they announced like this big thing. Well, it wasn't like a big thing. It was an Inside Xbox episode, which is like a monthly thing they do anyway. But where it was focused on Xbox Series X, I feel like everyone, including myself, my expectations were through the roof.
Oh, for sure.
And the games they showcased were like the most obscure games that like no one really asked for.
Yeah.
They promised gameplay from Assassin's Creed, and I'm gonna go ahead and say we didn't get that.
It was another cinematic trailer.
They said it was gameplay footage or from the gameplay engine, but that's not gameplay. Gameplay is someone playing the game.
Yeah, it's something cinematic for the game.
Yeah.
I feel like it. Well, the first trailer was like an actual trailer, right? Like,
yeah.
But this one, I feel like it's definitely going to be in the game, but yeah, it wasn't gameplay.
Not what I wanted. I wanted like a 3-minute run through of some dude just cutting up other dudes. Like,
Dirt 5 looked incredible.
Yeah. The vampire game didn't necessarily look great graphically, but I was creeped out and I loved it.
I thought it was like a Joker origin story game at first.
Too. Yeah, it looked intriguing.
Yeah.
What was it? Call to the Sea. Looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And the Scorned or whatever, the new horror game. It looked like Prometheus or something, like Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
I mean, there were several like okay games, but like for that to be the first thing you showcase, for your Xbox Series X, that was a weird move. And I get you want to hang on to the big guns for later because we're not even at E3 time yet. But it was just weird.
Did you see that? Sony announced PlayStation Studios coming out alongside PS5.
I saw something about that, but I didn't.
Yeah, so it's all of their studios that they purchased under one roof now.
Oh,
so
cool.
like and the trailer looked like the MCU. Like it shows it, and it shows all the games from their studios coming together.
It looked pretty
really
cool.
neat.
Yeah, it was definitely something that was inspired by Marvel Studios for sure. Even kind of had the same kind of sound almost.
Yeah,
but it looked good.
Yeah, it was neat.
One of the games I forgot to tell you that I played, I know this is off topic, but I'm saying it for a specific reason just because of the tech that they used, because I kind of looked up the game a little bit after I played it. But I finally went back and played Hellblade. And I finally went through and played it and beat it, and phenomenal game. One of the best games I've played in a while. I think it maybe only took me 8 to 10 hours to beat, so it's not a super long game. But the combat was amazing. The story was amazing. The graphics was amazing. But one of the things I looked up was just, how the game was made. And they actually used, because typically when you have a video game, you'll have one person do like the mocap for the character, and then you'll have another voice actor just come in after the fact, and they'll just dub the voice in. But this, the actress that played the main character did the capturing. It was actually her face, her voice, all at the same time. What's cool about it is they captured it all in real time. So it was more of like an actual performance, like you would almost be doing a movie. Mm-hmm. But one of the technologies that they used was the game developers were able to capture all that and see the environment that the character was in and the person playing the character as the character all in real time while it was being recorded, instead of doing all that stuff post. If y'all ever get a chance to look at it, go to YouTube and just type like how Hellblade was made. And it's amazing to watch because like they were doing an interview with the girl that was doing it, and they actually put the girl that was interviewing her also in the game. And they're like standing in a game environment, they're characters, they're having a dialogue like the interview, but you're seeing it happen all in real time instead of all that stuff being done post. And I think it's the first game to ever be done that way. And it just makes me really excited to see like a lot of the games coming out, like with these new consoles coming out, and obviously the new performance and all that stuff. It just makes me really excited. The studio is Ninja Theory. That's who did the game. But if you get time, I would highly recommend looking that up and just seeing like it just blew my mind because a lot of that stuff is all done separately. Like you'll have the capturing done, then they're added into an animated world and textures come on top of that. But this was literally done all at once, all in real time within seconds. Like didn't
Microsoft buy that studio? Pretty sure they
Possibly.
did.
Possibly.
Because one
But,
of the games they showed off for like the tech demo for the Xbox was
yeah.
the new Hellblade.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, obviously no spoilers because I really hope you guys go back and play it, but it was definitely left open for a second one. But the whole game revolves around psychosis. And they actually partner with psychiatrists and all this stuff to kind of come up with the game. And it's actually recorded in 3D space. And like they show like these set of ears in the middle of a room. And like, because if you haven't played the game, it's done to make you hear like you're hearing voices all, and they highly recommend you play it with headphones on.
Yeah.
But like they had all these actors like whispering in the ears, and they actually had a fake set of ears, and where they whispered into it was exactly where it was getting recorded at whatever angle and all this stuff. Like they were like, we didn't just make them look like ears just because they actually reverberate like real ears and everything. Like the technology that they were showing off just blew my mind.
That's cool.
I want to kind of go back and play because I didn't play it with headphones the first time, but it makes me want to go back and actually put headphones on and all that stuff. But yeah, even if you only play like the first hour of it just to see if you like the gameplay, it's really worth it. I would definitely check it out, and it's on Game Pass. So
I have it installed. I need to jump in and play it.
See, I'd always played up to the point where you start combat, and then I would just stop playing, and then I actually started the combat, and I was like, the combat kind of reminds me of like Shadows of Mordor meets Assassin's Creed.
Nice.
Like it's like the pairing, and then you attack after, and like all that stuff. Like it's really good.
Okay. Did you see the trailer for the second one?
No, I haven't seen anything on it.
Whoa!
Oh, it looks incredible.
The trailer for
Was
the
that
second
one of the
looks
things they
nuts?
Was that
That
one
was
of the
at
things they
Microsoft's.
showcased?
That was
Okay.
Yeah, that was a
last
Microsoft
year.
studio. Microsoft's.
I'll have to check it out.
Was that
I'll
at
get
E3
it.
last year?
No, that was the when they announced the Series X and they showed some of the stuff that the hardware can do.
Oh shoot!
That was
I
at the
didn't
Series
realize
X
that was the
announcement.
Series X thing. Oh dang! Okay, then that
Because
yeah.
Microsoft bought that studio.
You talk about the one that just happened?
No, not that one. It was one
That
before
would have
it.
been December, I think, right?
Okay, well I'll check
It's
it
when
out.
they announced Series X.
Yeah.
Now that could be, which I know it's not an exclusive now. Well, it wasn't then, but since they bought them, I guess they could technically turn Hellblade into an exclusive.
It probably will be. I would say,
Which would be a great one to have. I mean, it's the experience.
It won a ton of awards.
Yeah, I mean, the actress won a BAFTA award, which is like a huge regard as far as acting performance and all this stuff. But yeah, dude, like it's what's crazy is the girl got called in to do a stand-in for another character, and she actually ended up getting the main role, which was crazy.
That's great.
So anyways, just the whole reason I even said that was just to kind of talk about the technology of how that game was made, and just thinking about how that game came such a late time in the current generation of consoles life. It just makes me excited to see like what's to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what type of, so we talked about kind of the Xbox game reveal and kind of how like, those were all third party titles, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then today, we got a reveal for the new Unreal Engine, but they did the tech demo with the PS5 hardware, correct?
Yep.
Right.
Which very, very much looked like, I was telling Justin before you hopped on, Terry, very, very much like a Tomb Raider / Uncharted game. I was telling Justin, I said, how funny would it be if that was their way of giving us a glimpse of the new Uncharted? And what if it was Nathan Drake's daughter?
That'd be cool.
Like
Well, Sony, I was reading about that. Sony said that game is fully playable, but they have no intentions on making it like an actual game. Like it's playable, but it has no direction, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really neat though. It was a really cool demo. I think it was the CEO of Epic that said what Sony is doing with their SSD is better than what's in higher end gaming PCs as far as development. That's why I know they have a partnership with Sony, but they could just be, like, I don't know. They could just be saying that shit because they're with Sony instead of Microsoft. But apparently, like, the stuff that demo they did would only run on PlayStation is their point, because that SSD technology they have in a PS5.
Well, they spent a lot of time on the SSD at the PS4 or PS5 tech conference with that weird guy.
With the bowl cut.
Right. Yeah, apparently the SSD technology is supposed to be, like, way advanced.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When do you think So what do you think's gonna happen with pricing? Neither one is like willing to blink first.
I think Sony, I think Microsoft's going to pull it first. I think they'll be the first to announce it. Sony is probably just going to wait and see what Microsoft does. What do you think it's going to be? I think it's going to be 500.
So typically though, they lose money on console sales.
They do.
Yeah, so they always I guess it just depends on who feels like they're going to be able to recoup those losses with either accessories or game purchases and subscriptions.
Microsoft had such a bad launch with Xbox One, so I feel like they're going to want to pull out to win here with this one. So I feel like if they do announce it first, they're going to have the cheaper one.
Yeah.
I guess we'll wait and see what Sony does. But
Microsoft,
how much was the PS?
They made a mistake by making you get it with the Kinect originally, and then they abandoned the Kinect like a year in.
The Xbox One had such a weird launch. Like at first they were making it like a family entertainment center, and then they first announced like they're not going to have a disk drive, and everybody lost their minds. So it just kept going back and forth, and the guy got fired, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a diskless console.
I don't know.
I mean, they have one now. Microsoft makes one now.
Yeah.
I haven't loaded a disc into my Xbox One since. I mean, it's honestly
been years for me.
It's been at least 3 years, if not longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also think though, like one of the things that Microsoft has going for them is Game Pass, and if they have a couple of exclusives that are Microsoft only, you know, their promise was anything that was Microsoft exclusive that's by the Microsoft Studios, that it would be included day one on Game Pass. So they could potentially set themselves up for a strong launch if, you know, they're able to have a really great library that's going to be free to download day one if you have Game Pass.
It's 100% backwards compatible too.
Yeah, and if you don't have Game Pass, like it's cheap to buy. Like they'll give you a month free when you buy the console to get people in. Because like if you get hooked on these new games that just came out and you don't have them beat within a month, you know, you're going to want to continue to pay for that. So I see kind of like a lot of other companies like Apple and Google and all these other companies, a lot of these companies are becoming more heavily reliant on their services. Mm-hmm. And I could see that being the wave of the new consoles as well. You know, so I think that could also be a huge part of who kind of wins coming out of the gate. Because I will tell you that while I do love Sony and I love their exclusives and I love their console and all this stuff, their services are nowhere near as good as Microsoft's when it comes to Game Pass and stuff like that. PlayStation Now is a joke. Like, you know, they really got to rehaul their, I don't care how good their console is, they have to rehaul their online services if they intend to win the next console war, because Game Pass is just by far better than anything that they have. Like, I mean, I get they have PlayStation Plus, and that is kind of similar to Games with Gold, which I think those two are kind of on par with each other, but they really don't have anything as close to Game Pass, and especially with backwards compatibility.
Like, is the PS5 going to be backwards compatible? Do we know yet?
It is, yeah. They said it would be.
Is it only doing PS4, or is it going back to the previous generations as well?
Just PS4.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, I mean, natively with the disc drive, it's only going to put PS4 games. You'll probably be able to download PS3 games, I would say, if they...
Yeah.
PS Now. There's PS3 games on PS Now, right? So that's probably their way of doing it.
Yeah, they really need to do, because Nintendo completely dropped the ball on virtual consoles, and far in my opinion goes. I mean, I know they've done a little bit with Nintendo and Super Nintendo, but like, give me an app store and let me buy virtual console games from everything you've released since, you know, Nintendo all the way up to GameCube, Wii, whatever, you know. And I think every console manufacturer could do that, no problem. Because listen, if you're not going to let me buy those old games on your console or give me a subscription to retro games, guess what? I'm just going to go online and find them somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where I'd find them, but I bet you I could Google and find it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that's money being missed out on when you think about Raspberry Pis and what people are doing to get old console stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, 2 years ago they released Nintendo Online, and then last year they did the Super Nintendo Online where you could download those games. I'd say this year we'll probably get Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's
They're
just
being
waiting
slow
game.
with it.
I just don't know, why the console's been out 3 or 4 years and we're just now maybe getting something like that, but. I don't know. Nintendo never does anything by the book, and they're still wildly successful. So,
I mean, I will say the past year with the Switch, I think has been their strongest year they've had in a while. As far as like, and I think we talked about that in our last episode, is how their lack of games at launch and after launch was kind of a disaster. But they've gotten so much stronger.
Yeah, it came out recently that the Switch has now sold more than the Wii and the GameCube combined.
Well, coronavirus has been the best thing that ever happened to Nintendo. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
that
they had
right
coronavirus and they had Animal Crossing come out at the same time, so that was huge.
You think maybe the coronavirus really started in Japan and not China?
Oh my god.
Coronavirus. But yes.
I just hope. I was gonna say I just hope Series X has some exclusives, because Game Pass, the biggest selling point is you're gonna get Microsoft's games day one. What games have they added to that day one? Not many.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I just don't want them to go the way of what we see Nintendo doing a lot and other third-party game studios. And then we also have seen, I think, Sony do it a lot, are remakes. Mm-hmm. Like, here's the first 3 Fables just remastered.
Well, I feel like Nintendo doesn't do that much.
Huh?
I would
feel like
enjoy
Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo doesn't, but they use the platform to do it. Like that's why I said third parties and Nintendo, because a lot of times you'll find, like, because Switch is a new console, like Burnout, for instance, Burnout Paradise. We talked about this. Like, it's a $50 remaster of a game that's almost 10 years old. I
get it. I think it's just for, how much it's probably expensive to hire a third party to port it over there. Like, I feel like that's the only reason it's $50.
Yeah.
Like, their first party titles, they have all new content. Like, they're bringing like Super Mario Odyssey. Well, Mario Kart 8 was a port, but everything else is pretty much new.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't want to see like Xbox just start to remaster a lot of their old games. Like we saw.
No, I get you. Sony did that.
Like, I get why they came out with like the Master Chief Collection, which was great. It's all the games in one. But like,
well, look at Sony with The Last of Us and what was the game with the Colossus or whatever?
Oh, Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God of War, like Uncharted. They've done that with all their.
Well, that's why. Yeah, that's why I said Nintendo and Sony specifically. Microsoft hasn't done a ton of that, but I'm just saying, like, I just want new content.
I will say this, and I'm hopeful, because there's only been 2 games that I've wanted the last 2 years to be announced. That's Fable and Splinter Cell, and it's looking like we'll probably get Fable announced this year. Splinter Cell, they announced they're doing a Splinter sale on the Xbox store right now. Splinter S-A-L-E, pun.
Yeah.
I think it was the same day Ubisoft announced their press conference.
That's pretty cool.
So maybe
that's hopeful. Yeah.
Maybe.
Dude, they need to stop running Assassin's Creed. I mean, while all the Assassin's Creed games have been successful for the most part, especially the last 2, like, they need to stop running that franchise into the ground and letting that be their cash cow. Like, I mean, I know Far Cry 2, but like,
well, we have Watch Dogs 3 coming out next gen.
Yeah. But they're starting to, what I'm saying is, I feel like they're starting to become like Microsoft, where they have like 3 big heavy hitters and that's all they focus on. You know what I mean?
They need new stuff.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint had awful reviews.
Yeah. It actually, like, I played it. It wasn't
I enjoyed
terrible.
it. I liked it.
It got better after updates. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I would love to see a return to Splinter Cell, like 2-player co-op, maybe even 4-player co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can give me like a Ghost Recon-esque like game, but Splinter Cell, yeah, I'm down.
Count me in.
Like,
there's a rumor. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. No,
I was just gonna say they
Mine's
even
off
did.
topic.
I was really excited because they even did that. Justin, did you ever play the first or the last Ghost Recon game where they did the Splinter Cell mission with Sam Fisher?
I played the game, but I didn't play that add-on.
Yeah. I played it. It was pretty fun. You actually you don't get to play as him, but you get your mission from him, and it's kind of like Splinter Cell-esque like gameplay. But it got me excited enough to miss Splinter Cell. Not miss playing it with you though, Justin. You son of a bitch. He was like you in that regard. Like, you know how like we're playing Grand Theft Auto and you like to dick around, Terry?
Like you guys were being stealthy and I just come in with a grenade launcher.
Exactly. Like Justin and I would be like escorting this guy and we'd be almost at the end of the mission and he'd just shoot the president. I'm like, what are you doing, Justin? Like, why?
It's funny.
That honestly was the last time we played together until we played Fortnite last week.
Or he would be hanging above me and just decide, I'm just going to break Travis's neck. Like, it's no big deal.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I was gonna say there's a rumor that the new Halo, like there's still a big lid on that game. They're saying that 343 is trying to make that a lot like Destiny, like make it
Oh,
open
God.
world, like an open world Halo game,
That might
like
be
with
okay.
RPG elements. Like that I would redo the series pretty much. So is it a reboot? Who knows?
Maybe. We'll
I
see.
mean, if they
Yeah.
had some ex people from Bungie, probably help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what games do you want to see come? Did we already talk about that? We didn't really talk
Not
about it.
really. What you guys go first?
Well, they just announced it today, the Mafia Remaster. They're re-releasing, I guess, Mafia 1, 2, and 3, and when I first heard this initially, I thought, oh, it's just going to be upgraded textures, blah, 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 right? Mafia 1 is being rebuilt from the ground up, which is incredible. I mean, that game came out, 2003 on the
Yeah.
PS2?
Kind of like a Final Fantasy remake almost. Where it's
I
like
never played those
completely-
games, so I'm kind of excited.
They're
I played
good.
the third one.
So I've played all three. All three of them were good, but the first one does not hold up anymore. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
very excited about a remaster. 2 still holds up, and 3 is good. 3 is the weakest one in the series, but it's still a lot of fun. But yeah, they're good. I definitely recommend them.
Yeah, the hardest thing to get used to is going from playing Grand Theft Auto where you drive fast cars to going back and driving old time cars because you don't get past 100. You're just like,
I think you can cap your speed too in that game. You
yeah,
can, like, press the button, like lock it in at the speed limit.
yep, yeah, you sure can.
Yeah.
Yeah, those games were pretty good. They were also really violent, if I remember right.
The third one, you can
Oh.
feed people to gators.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
What else?
I think I just want new games, man. If I'm honest, I want new IPs because Microsoft, even thinking about their history, they don't have too many. I mean, obviously they have Gears of War, Halo, Forza. It's like their holy trinity. But what else do they have, really?
Yeah, Justin, what if Sony announced they were bringing back Zipper Studios and you got a new God, what's the name of the game?
SOCOM, you idiot.
Yes, SOCOM. Sorry.
There's a rumor that who made Horizon Zero Dawn? Is it Guerrilla Games?
Guerrilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guerrilla Games.
There's a rumor that like their B team is working on a third-person tactical shooter that would be SOCOM. That's been rumored for several months now, so we'll see.
Saying Gorilla, you know what that makes me want? A new Red faction.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were going to say you want Harambe back.
Oh man.
The last Red
Rip.
faction game was like, it's really a sleeper. I don't know if you played the last.
It's on Switch.
Yeah, it's on that and about everything else, but it's really good. I always like those games for the. That's another game that's been remastered a ton of times, but I always love those games because like if you can't get in a door, you can just knock the wall down and just go around it, or you can just start drilling into the ground. Like there's some instructable environments and just all.
That's why you like Fortnite so much.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
I want a Mercenaries reboot.
That'd be great.
I feel like we brought that up the other night when we were
did.
playing
We did.
Fortnite. Dude,
Yeah.
I forgot all about that game, and then I forgot how you could just drop vehicles from the sky.
I mean,
Like,
just Cause is basically Mercenaries now, but
pretty much.
I just don't understand how they've made 4 Just Cause games and not one of them has multiplayer. That's a huge failure on their part, right?
There's been mods on the PC versions, but nothing officially supported now.
That's ridiculous to me. All I want to do is run through that fictional island and blow stuff up with a friend. That's all I want to do.
Even if we have to be the same character, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want
But
a
at least-
RoboCop video game.
A what?
A RoboCop video game.
That'd be cool.
Did you
Like
say
open world in Detroit.
Did
Yeah.
you say RoboCock?
Yeah, RoboCop. I want that in VR.
We were talking the other night when were we talking about this together in Fortnite when I said it'd be cool if Epic Games would make a deal with Disney to make a Star Wars Battle Royale where like have different maps, almost like Battlefield or Battlefront, but have that kind of that Fortnite style, so it's accessible to everybody and
Yeah.
it doesn't take up a lot of resources and whatnot. But I think I would play the crap out of that. I mean, think of the
Yeah, for
cosmetic
sure.
store on that. I would drop $100 to like make my perfect Jedi or something.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, that'd be huge, dude. What if Disney comes out and they're just like, we want to acquire that game.
Oh, they
And just
could.
make it-
What if they did buy Fortnite?
Yeah, I know, right, dude? That's
Oh
what I
my
was thinking.
God, I'm surprised they haven't.
Imagine
That would be
a
huge for them.
universe. Imagine a universe game where Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, like all these
Well, they
melting
already have
pots of.
Marvel and Star Wars, right? Like they could just have the rest of Disney
They've
stuff.
had them both on there before, yeah. So they
Mhm.
obviously
Yeah,
have a
but I'm
good
sure
working
that stuff is
relationship.
temporarily licensed with Disney. But like,
They also had
imagine if
John
you-
Wick.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, we saw John Wick in game, and he had a backpack with a puppy dog in it, and you could pet the dog.
What?
Yeah, it was really neat. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
it was awesome.
Can you imagine playing as running through Fortnite, playing as Woody from Toy Story?
I
Or
need
Buzz,
that.
or
I'm gonna
Buzz,
tweet
like
Epic. I'm gonna
instead
tweet
of
Epic
a
Games and Disney.
instead of having a glider, you come down as Buzz and you just spread your wings as your
Oh
glider.
my god, I need this game now.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Um,
I never thought I would advocate for Disney buying another major property, but here I am. Buy them. Let's go.
I know, right? But yeah, dude, I don't know. God, now I want to just play Fortnite. I just got to get off here, guys. I want to go play Fortnite.
I do wish, realistically, I would like to see EA lose the Star Wars license in this next generation, and I'd like to see it either be split up, but if it has to be exclusive, I want Ubisoft to have it.
Yeah.
Imagine a
Dude,
Star Wars RPG with the Assassin's Creed engine.
Dude, do you know how much money Jedi Fallen Order made? I don't think they're gonna lose it now.
I forgot. You know what? That game was so good, I forgot EA made it. So that's my bad. My bad.
It's a damn good point.
Here's what's so sad I didn't realize is I also was in the same boat as you, Justin, not remembering that they made it because I almost asked you guys, whatever happened to that Star Wars game that they did that weird demo for at E3 and like the guy was real strange about it. And then it ended up being Fallen Order, right? Is that the game? Yeah, okay.
I think so.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Have you played that, Travis?
I think about halfway through it. I didn't
Dude,
beat it.
please
good.
beat that game. It's so good.
They
just had
said
a new
just
content,
this week. Yeah, they said this week that's the first game of a new series.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to keep it going.
You know what I would like to see come on new consoles, and I wouldn't be mad to get a remake. And supposedly there's remakes is the KOTOR. That's the Old Republic. So
Yeah. I wish they would release the Old Republic on consoles, because I really feel like Connor and I we played that over Christmas a little bit, and we played it for like 12 hours one day, just straight, and it was so good. But like, there's not much of a population anymore.
Oh,
And
are you talking about the PC game?
the MMO? Yeah.
Oh,
And I wish
okay.
they would release it on consoles to kind of breathe new life into it.
I thought you were talking about the old
Oh no,
Knights
the
of the Old
MMO.
Republic.
I was talking about the old console.
I
game.
pivoted to the MMO.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that game was like I played that game at launch, and I played it for a decent amount after launch. And the classes in that game are so good. Like you can be a
The
sniper class.
story's really good.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's BioWare. I mean, you make choices and all that stuff.
I mean, they made Anthem.
Yeah, I never played that game, and I still refuse.
It sucks. The
Yeah.
gameplay is fun, but the game overall sucks. It's a tech demo.
Yeah,
It's a 5-year tech demo.
Yeah,
Damn.
dude, that sucks too because they really have talk
It
about a
looked
game.
so good.
Talk about a game that was overhyped. You remember how excited Feely was for that game, and he didn't even play it.
You know,
That's so
Apparently,
funny.
they are remastering Mass Effect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't wait to dump 120 hours into that again.
Maxwell's gonna lose his mind and his load.
I've never played those games, so
Oh,
I'll definitely pick them up.
When they remaster them, dude, the first one doesn't hold up.
Okay.
Graphically, it does. Gameplay, it does not.
Yeah, it's mostly in the mechanics for like the combat, right?
Yeah, hopefully they will make it all mimic.
So start with
2.
2 is what you're saying.
If you're gonna play them now, start with 2, and then spend the $5 for the. Oh god, I think it's called Genesis. There's a DLC pack called Genesis, and after you do the first part of Mass Effect 2, it loads Genesis and it replays the first game's story in comic book form, and it lets you make the decisions.
Oh,
So you
Cool.
can basically play the first game and make all the important decisions in 2 minutes.
And it affects your game and story of 2, right?
Decisions you make in the first game affect you all the way through the series.
Yeah.
that's
I
neat.
heard the decision at the end of 2 is by far the biggest one.
It is the biggest. It's caused me the most stress in my life so far. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, so I've heard.
You have to do like you're basically prepping for a suicide mission, and you know this, and
Yeah.
you have to do everything right, in order to be 100% successful. And there's
Yeah.
a lot. It comes down to even maxing out your relationships with all the people in your crew, and then also assigning people to the right job during the mission based on their strengths and weaknesses.
Did you choose right on your own, or did you look it up?
I ran through it the first time, didn't do so great, and then I looked it up and then aced it because I wanted to make sure I took my whole crew into 3. I mean, I didn't want to leave anybody behind.
Oh yeah, because if they don't make it through 2, they definitely aren't showing up for
Yeah.
3.
You can actually die. Shepard can die in 2.
Yeah.
I don't know how they
Damn.
write him back in 3. I don't want to spoil anything for Mass Effect 2, even though it's only been like 15 years.
I mean, you can spoil it. That's fine.
Shepard dies at the beginning of 2 anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they
write him back.
to bring him back, yeah.
Yeah, he's got glowing cracks in his skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that's probably how they bring him back in 3 if you die. But
Apologize for spoilers for anybody who hasn't played a 15-year-old game, but
yeah.
you know,
What year did that come out?
it was 360. I don't know.
Oh, God, it was. You're right.
Hey, what's the game? You play this guy with a hood that has like these crazy arms.
Assassin's
Control
Creed.
or
No. Alex Mercer is the guy. I remember the guy's name and everything. I just don't remember the name of the game. You're talking about games I'd like to see come back. That's one.
Darkness?
Does he-
No. I don't have to look it up.
Oh, Prototype.
Prototype. Yeah, I'd love to see Prototype come
I
back.
never played that. It looked too weird for me.
It was really good.
Dude, I'm so amped for a new Spider-Man game
hmm
with that new tech, bro.
Did you hear that apparently snow is going to be a big thing in that game?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
something
really?
that was leaked. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did.
They mentioned weather, and snow specifically was a big deal. So I hope it's true. You think they'll announce it this year, though?
It'd be sweet if there were seasons.
I'd like to see it as a launch title, but I don't think it'll be this year. Probably be next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't imagine it being a launch title. I feel
Oh,
like
It's this Christmas, right? No way it's
I think they would have already announced it.
yeah, I do too. Well, they haven't announced anything though, really.
That's true. Maybe it could be. Who
Come out,
knows?
what if they come out of the woodworks and they're like, we have 20 new games coming out at launch.
That'd be crazy.
Okay,
I will
Sony,
say-
take my money.
I will say this about Ghost of Tsushima. That's the game that I'm most cautiously optimistic about because it sounds great, but I don't know anything about it. Have they shown
Dude,
any
Sucker
gameplay yet?
Punch. They have that one gameplay trailer from when it was announced. Like it was
I
like
thought that
one
was
mission.
cinematic.
No, it was all gameplay.
I had to go back and watch that. I must have missed that one then.
It
because-
looked
Oh.
incredible.
That's the one where like the field's on fire and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was all
recently-
gameplay.
I recently just tried a game from id Software, the people that make like Bloodborne and stuff, but I can't remember the name of it. It's like something die twice. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically like a Bloodborne for Xbox, and it was pretty hard. You play a ninja. That's pretty cool. Anyways, trying to think if there's any other games I would like to see. I would love to see a third.
Eye Blind.
No, Infamous.
Yeah, I loved Infamous Second Son. It was
I can't
great.
get into those games. They just, I don't know.
Play Second Son, man. It's
I
really
did.
good. The story's great.
The
How
combat's
far
good.
did you get?
I don't even remember. It's been, I got it when it came out. So whenever it came out, I played it for a while, but I just got so bored with it.
I beat that game twice.
I got bored with that game. I got bored with Last of Us.
In God of War, you got bored with God of War, didn't you?
No, I just didn't like God of War. It was just,
Did they leave? Did you
repetitive.
beat God of War yet, Terry? Okay.
Yeah, I beat God of War.
Did they leave it open for another one?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I'm just wondering if like maybe that's something. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a launch title either, but you know.
I could see that being a launch title over Spider-Man just because I feel like it's been out for what, 5 years now?
Yeah.
Has it been out that long?
It's been out for a bit.
Santa Monica Studios, right? That's who does those games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think we're going to get a Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement this year?
No.
This year, I think we'll get an announcement this year. I don't
I think-
we're going to release it this year.
We'll get an announcement that they're making it. It'd be like that Elder Scrolls 6 announcement we got like, 3 years ago?
What's funny is
Hey, we're
have this-
making it.
What's funny is I have this friend. I'm not going to say his name.
Say it.
He doesn't listen to this podcast anyways, but like
What's his name?
it doesn't matter. Anyways, he believes anything he sees on the internet. Like if you see a video trailer or something and they say it's an announcement, he's seen a Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer and he thought it was real.
Are you talking about Maxwell?
No.
He
I
said
thought it
that
was
to
Maxwell.
us.
He sent that to us.
Maxwell
Like,
did. Maxwell did, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. I'm pretty sure he questioned it.
No,
My other
he
friend,
immediately after he sent it said, "Oh, I think it's fake."
yeah. No, I have this other friend that tagged me on Facebook,
Oh, no.
and I started reading through the comments, and they were like, the thumbnail is a screen grab from Need for Speed Payback. I'm like, well, there's your sign. So I just think it's funny. I mean, especially when you have the when they release the thing for Grand Theft Auto, you can make your own film and do angles and all that stuff. Like, you can make whatever you want. The trailer, I don't know if y'all actually watched the trailer, but they made it look like it was going to be a Vice City.
Yeah.
Which tugged on my heartstrings anyways. I still am up for the idea of, and I know I've said it before, is like making Grand Theft Auto like an MMO and having like each like town, like have Vice City and Liberty City.
San Andreas.
And San Andreas, like that'd be so dope. Like I'd pay $14.99 for that a month.
I think we talked about it on here before. One of you said that Rockstar was they were saying that the next Grand Theft Auto is going to be smaller in scale than what we're used to.
Yeah,
like I heard that, so that makes me think it could be Vice City because Vice City is smaller than the other maps.
Dude, I'd love Vice City. Nothing better than neon lights and 80s music. Just take my money.
I think it'd be more modern though if they do it.
Yeah,
it'd be a modern Vice City.
They could do both. They could do where you start off and maybe play a portion of the game back in the day, and then you fast forward so many years, and it's like everything looks different. That'd be kind of
What
cool.
if like the game? It's like North Yankton in 5, and then maybe you go to jail.
Oh, and then you come out.
20 years later, you're out.
Oh, dude, that'd be dope.
Would be.
That's genius.
What
I
if you
love it.
What if you play like a Scarface like character, and then you get locked up, and then you come out, and then you try to like rise to the top again after being taken out and being in prison the whole time? That'd be kind of dope. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
we should just make the game, guys.
They should just hire us as writers.
It could
That's
be.
right.
You know, they could just. You know, it could be like Saints Row the Third.
Could be.
You could just throw dildos at each other.
Yeah, that's what your mom likes. I just.
Hey, when's that remaster come out, Justin?
May 22nd.
Because I almost pulled the trigger because they had Saints Row. I think it's 4, the elect one or whatever it's called, and then they also had Get Out of Hell. You could get both games for like $5, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure neither of those games actually has a city. You're like fighting through hell and then aliens.
4, you're in the Saints Row city, but like aliens take over pretty early on because you're the president. And 4, I did not like 4.
At the beginning of 4, I'm pretty sure you climb up on a rocket and disable it, and like right out of the gate.
Is that
Everybody
4?
likes 3 more.
Or is that 3?
I think it's 4. And I could be wrong.
Is 3 the one where you're basically a superhero?
No, 4 is the one where you're a superhero. Like you jump buildings and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I didn't buy it, is because I want a more similar experience to Grand Theft Auto, but just more over the top. I don't want to fight aliens or anything like that. So I didn't buy it for that reason.
Well, get 3.
Well, I'm probably I'm gonna wait, and it's remastered. Like I watched the video for it. The graphics look pretty great.
Saints Row 2 is backwards compatible on Xbox.
Well, I don't want to go back and look at old graphics. I want new graphics.
Well, okay.
Because the remaster one, they've completely redone it from the ground up, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you're literally now.
Well, I'll tell you, the Ezio collection, that's the Ezio trilogy, is not redone from the ground up.
Yeah, is it?
Like I played Assassin's Creed 2, and it is hard to look at.
Do they still keep the old style gameplay?
Yes,
Can't
like I
climb
go to
down
jump
buildings.
Yeah, you can't climb down buildings. Like you go to jump to one place, you're looking right at it, and you just jump left and kill yourself. Yeah, that's still a bug in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, dude.
I found a video that compares the remaster version to the original.
Are you gonna throw it up behind you? I bet you won't.
No, it's a YouTube video. It's 8 minutes long.
Oh, no balls.
Yeah, and there are some things where the original looks better than the remaster. At least for the second game. Maybe Brotherhood Revelations are different, but
yeah.
I mean, Assassin's Creed 2 is pretty old. But
Terry, I do have to report back on something I told you I'd tell you about. So
what's that?
I downloaded Need for Speed Heat on my PC, and I am happy to report that it plays like the older Need for Speed games. It kind of reminds me of Most Wanted and Underground. It's kind of what it reminds me of.
Well, I love both of those games.
Yeah.
Did you play Rivals?
And it's very neon, by the way.
Yeah, I'm all about Neon.
Yeah. No, I did not play Rivals.
Rivals
That's
was
the one
actually pretty good.
Online
That's the one
all the
launched
time,
with,
right?
No, that's the one before that game. This
Okay.
one launched with Xbox One and PS4.
I hate you so much.
Hey, man.
What's he doing? I can't see it.
You can't see it? He's freaking
No.
showing that.
50-50 with Cristobal.
Yeah. I hate you so much.
No, you don't.
All right.
Oh,
well,
yeah, I see it. There we go.
Is there anything else next gen we want to talk about, guys, before we get into everyone's favorite section? Which you all know what that is. Anybody got anything else? Justin, you're completely distracted. Now that you found out you can do videos,
I couldn't find the one I was wanting to use.
You just like cycling through all the pictures.
I'm glad I almost clicked on one of your mom. I'm glad I didn't because she's in a very compromising position.
That's weird. That's so weird. Why would you say that?
I'm sorry.
Hey, you want that new video that his mom sent me? It's in VR. I'll send it to you
now.
Please don't do that. I don't want that.
I'm not sending it to you, just Justin.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Well, what else? How about this? Carol Baskins. You may have heard of Murdering Hornets, but what about Baskin Bees? You ever heard of those?
Gosh.
Don't think you have.
Oh, we didn't talk about Nick Cage being cast as Joe Exotic.
No, dude. We have not.
No, I'm all about it.
There are 3 Joe Exotic shows in the works, and there's Nicolas Cage's version. Kate McKinnon has her own where she's Carol Baskins. And then Ryan Murphy from American Horror Story and Rob Lowe are making one.
Dude, I'm just glad. Like, he is such a piece of shit. Oh, yeah. I am so glad that he is in prison and doesn't get to enjoy any of this. Because he wanted to be famous.
Enjoying it, though.
What's sad, though, that's what he's wanted, is to be famous. Like, even if it costs him going to prison. So I think he's in prison just being giggly about it.
Let's face it. I guarantee he'll get a presidential pardon at some point.
You're right.
Is that a sex move, or is he actually getting pardoned?
I think he'll do anything for re-election.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. I think somebody's leading him around by his pants pocket, if you know what I mean. He's somebody's prison bitch.
God.
Which I'm sure.
Nah, dude. Fine. Like, he had 2 kids working for him. Like,
that is true.
In the show, like
they weren't even gay.
Like, he said that his husband loved his balls like golden nuggets right in front of his mom.
Oh my God.
Like golden nuggets, as smooth as eggs.
They were golden nuggets, that boy.
He really did say that. That's so awkward.
At his funeral, yeah, it's weird.
At his funeral, in front of his mother. It's weird.
I wanted to tell you, Justin, I think after I'm done watching Barry, I'm going to go back and watch Community.
Yes. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah. It's good. I need to finish it.
That's a top-notch show.
Yeah. Did it end too soon?
No. The prophecy is still in the middle of being fulfilled because the whole prophecy all along was 6 seasons in a movie, and they got 6 seasons, and now we're waiting on that movie.
Oh. What was the prophecy? Did somebody in the show say it?
Yeah, someone said 6 seasons in a movie.
Oh.
It was like a running joke from there on out. And then NBC canceled it after 5. And then Yahoo brought it back for a 6th. And then Dan Harmon said just last week that conversations are taking place about a movie because at the moment it's seeing a resurgence in popularity due to Netflix.
I'm just kind of curious of how they kept a show going that long. It's about a community college. Like, they just keep not graduating, or
they
what?
Find a way. And I'll tell you right now, Donald Glover, he came back. They did a charity table read of a script this week.
Yeah.
And he came back because he actually leaves the show in the 5th season, I think. And he came back to do the table read. And I guess they did a podcast episode about it because they have a podcast as well, Ken Jeong and Joel McHale. And they brought everyone back, and Donald Glover, I guess, found out during that episode that they all thought he was too famous for them, and they had excluded him from their group text.
Oh,
yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, he probably is way too famous for them now. But
yeah,
I'm just glad he came back for that.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? God, I felt like I had something super important to say, and it totally just left me, and I'm sad about it.
Do you want to talk about that Parks and Rec thing they did from home?
That was good.
Pretty good.
No. I know what I wanted to talk about.
It's super well done.
Have you guys been watching John Krasinski's S&G show?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't watched whole episodes, but I've just stuck around for like the main things.
So the newest one, they do a completely office reunion.
Yeah.
But what you don't know is it's because John Krasinski goes online and gets his license to marry someone, and he marries someone on his show.
Oh, I didn't know he married them, but I saw
Like
them dancing to the song.
Like a real couple. And then like as that's happening, they say, well, there's not a proper send off. And then they basically had all the characters come back and do their little bit that they did after Jim and Pam's wedding. And it was really cool. That guy actually proposed to his wife the same way Jim proposed to his wife at a gas station. I guess they're huge Office fans. So he brought them all back and stuff and completely surprised them.
Did you ever finish The Office?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I finally went back and forced myself to watch it.
They did a Hamilton one a couple weeks ago too. Some little girl had Hamilton tickets and it got canceled, and they all came back and sang Alexander Hamilton to her. Which
Speaking
was really
of
cool.
Hamilton, did you
Hamilton's.
see
Yeah.
Go ahead, Terry.
Go ahead.
I won't steal your
go ahead.
thunder. No,
No,
go ahead.
It's coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
coming
my
to Disney
goodness.
Plus. There it
Stole it
is.
from both of you.
Son of a bitch.
I'm actually really pumped about that because my wife and I were big Hamilton fans, and we got to see it in Cincinnati last year. And I'm not even kidding. We get there, I'm feeling fine. About 10 minutes into the show, I get sick. And it wasn't like throwing up, pooping, have to leave the theater sick, but like eyes watering, nose running. I'm just sniffing and coughing and sneezing nonstop. Like it's obnoxious. So I kind of feel like I missed the show. Like I want to go back and see it again. And now I can't because of coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. So I want to see the film version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else to be said, guess what time it is, guys? It's time for Pick of the Week. Like you guys were in slow motion.
I'm trying to keep up with Terry.
Terry is. He's back in the past.
We should just like mute each other during that part. Or we can't mute each other. Never mind.
It's
I
fine.
don't know.
Don't worry about it. We can talk about it after the show.
We'll talk about it.
Let's talk about after the show.
I'm so drunk.
Wow.
I'm so drunk on this water that wait, you can't see it. Never mind.
That doesn't look like water.
Who wants to go first? Pick of the week.
Not me.
I'll go.
Sure. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I heard you weren't.
F off, Terry. No. My pick this week. You know what? I don't think I've said this one yet. Since we've started recording these again, but I'm gonna go with Warzone. That's just a good game to play with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've had a good time playing it, right, Terry?
Oh, absolutely.
We got some dubs.
It's a good blast.
Right, some dubs. Yeah. And it's been a good time playing it with you all. So it's at the moment I think it's my favorite battle royale, and that's my pick of the week right now.
Question about that game. Have they added a solo mode by chance?
Yeah, it's called Solo Stimulus, and the way it works is, how when you're playing with friends, if you die, you go to the gulag, right?
Yeah.
And this one, if you have at least $4,500 in your if you have at least $4,500, and it actually gives you that when you start, it'll respawn you automatically, and you get multiple respawns as long as you have that in your inventory.
Is that new?
Last week. Now, when they give you that 45 at the beginning, you can buy stuff with it, but if you die, you're dead. So you have to have at least 4,500 to respawn.
So it's like a gamble. Do you immediately buy a better gun, or do you just keep it in case you're gonna die?
Yeah, I keep mine because you find stuff pretty quickly in that game. Like even legendary weapons, I don't think I've ever played a match, well, unless I've died immediately, where I didn't find at least one legendary weapon. I mean, they're pretty common.
Yeah, not so much with Fortnite. There's been several matches where one on a blue weapon. So, okay, well that's a good recommendation. What about you, Terrence?
Mine is a show that I haven't even talked about.
I thought you were going to say mine's a show I haven't even watched.
Yeah, I haven't even watched. You know what? I'm still going to recommend it anyways. No,
Murder
the
She
show
Wrote.
that it's new to me, man. Nah. Justin Roiland's new show on Hulu, Solar Opposites. I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan, and Solar Opposites is hilarious.
Okay.
It's like a darker version of Rick and Morty. Like I didn't even know that could exist, but you guys should definitely check it out. It's really good.
It's darker than Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was
it's
possible.
really good. Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. My recommendation is going to be, I know you're going to, I'm not going to take the easy route and say Fortnite. I'm just going to say Hellblade because I can't say too many good things about that game. Just really good, unique game experience, a deep dive into psychosis and like mental issues that people have. Like it's crazy, you know. Just to kind of to tell you without really giving anything away, psychosis is really where you go through so much like mental and emotional trauma where you detach from reality and you don't know what's real and what's not. And nice. And really this game, you're just playing through her what she thinks is reality because she's lost a loved one. And they kind of tie it up really nicely at the end. And you kind of realize why you saw some of the things you did and what you were really fighting when you thought you were fighting something else. Like it's really good. But I would recommend if you are going to play through with headphones. I didn't do that the first time around. And I wish I would have, just because the voices follow you throughout the entire game and they play a pretty important role when you hear them. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. So
Did you play the game Unravel?
the one where you're yarn?
Yes.
I have not.
That's like the best description of a video game.
I mean, it is about yarn, but the whole theme of that game is about this lady dealing with death. Like she lost her entire family. It's an old lady, and like her son, her grandkids died. Like she's dealing with that grief. Like I had to stop playing it. Like it was really sad. I was like, oh man, this game's gonna be like Little Big Planet. No, it's not.
Dude, speaking of Little Big Planet, I want a new Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sad though.
It is.
That's crazy.
I want Knack 3.
I seen Knack 2 is free on PlayStation Plus.
It's really good. You should get it.
Well, cool. Well, does anybody have anything else they would like to add or say?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, you got anything to say about that guy behind you?
Oh, that's Ted from Scrubs. He passed away a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you watched Scrubs or not, or ever have, but that's the lawyer. He's really funny.
He looks like somebody to be a lawyer.
That's Chris Lloyd's nephew.
I could see that by the hair.
Yeah.
What hair?
Yeah, that's right.
You should watch Scrubs if you haven't. It is fantastic.
Well, there's a Scrubs podcast I wanted to listen to.
I've been listening to it every Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, very cool. All right. Well, that about does it for this episode. Please make sure that you go out and like our Facebook page, our Instagram, share our episodes, especially reviews on iTunes and Spotify. Those reviews really, really help us out. Make sure that we get pushed to the top of the search when you're searching for podcasts. And if you're watching the video form of this podcast, please enjoy the videos that Justin's been playing in his background throughout this entire podcast. It's been so distracting and trying to keep me on task. I appreciate it. And there's Terry trying to do the dance. Do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, hold on. Either of you two watch Gotham?
No.
Well, that guy's in Gotham.
He's who's he play?
He's an assassin of some kind. But anyways, he's Muscle for the Penguin.
Anthony Kerrigan's his name. He's fantastic in Barry.
Yeah. Well, guys, we appreciate you listening to this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Real quick, Travis, before we go, will you hit me with a boom real quick?
Boom!
Perfect. Thanks.
You're welcome.